Over the years, I've worked with a lot of different women that come from different backgrounds, that have had different life experiences, that have created who they are today. But what I found is that they all have one thing in common, and that is what is keeping them from the love and the life that they have always wanted. And I am sharing that one thing with you today, and we are starting right now. As always, for the best love, dating, relationship advice and allowing me to serve you at a higher level, hit the bell, subscribe so that you get notified when new videos post every week. Most of the women that I work with are high achieving, successful women that are willing to put in the work. They're doing the therapy appointments, reading the self-help books, they're manifesting with vision boards and journaling to try and figure out, uncover, discover why love hasn't worked out for them. But what they don't understand is that it's on a subconscious level as to why love isn't working out for them. And you may be one of these women, if you could say, this is what I want in a guy, and you can list it out, but somebody else is showing up, or maybe nobody's showing up because you're locking yourself in your apartment on the weekends. Well, let me tell you, this is your critical thinking, knowing exactly what you want, pinpointing why you feel like you're not getting it, but then you seem to do the same thing over and over again. This is your subconscious thinking over here, which is 95% of your day, moving you towards the men that you don't want, or no men at all. And there's a very good reason for that. And what that reason is it's subconscious fear. And subconscious fear is made of a little cocktail of 3 components. And those components are your limiting beliefs, what you feel like's familiar to you, and what your mind thinks it's doing to protect you. And I want to dive into each one of these to help you get better understanding as to why love hasn't worked out for you. Your belief system is one of the 3 components that creates that cocktail of subconscious fear that's keeping you from the love that you deserve. Our belief systems has everything to do with what we feel like we deserve. You see, when you were born, you were a beautiful baby that felt deserving of love and getting your needs met. If you cried out at 3 a.m., Mom, I'm hungry, get in here and feed me, you felt deserving of that. How many babies do you know that are insecure? None. You could have a green snotty nose, a big soggy diaper. Babies still feel adorable. They don't say, don't look at me, I've got cellulite and chubby legs. No, they say, look at me, I've got cellulite and chubby legs, and they just feel amazing. Little girls, the same thing. What do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I'm going to be an ice dancing queen, a rock star, for sure famous, for sure gold. But somewhere along the way, they start to have these negative experiences that start to create a different belief. Well, maybe not you. You're more of a silver or bronze girl. You're not really the gold girl. Let me ask you, when did you start feeling like you need to settle for silver or bronze? And you may be one of those women that's like, I know my worth. He just hasn't showed up yet. There's no good guys left. And that is simply not true. I help women every single day find good guys and get the loving, healthy relationship that they deserve. So what's happening is we've got this critical thinking that says, this is what I want. And then we've got this subconscious thinking that has all those limiting beliefs that were created from past experiences that you had no control over. But now it is your problem to solve because it's tripping you up in your love life. It's causing you to feel on a subconscious level that you're not worthy of the guy that you put on that critical thinking list of this is what I want and this is what I want. And how we get over that is we give your subconscious mind an upgrade of understanding that those negative experiences weren't even about you at all. They were about mom, dad, uncle, teacher. They had nothing to do with you, but your brain took that information and that experience. It rewired neurological networks in your brain that now is tripping you up in your love life, thinking you need to go for less or put up with less, which is simply not true. Number two of that cocktail of subconscious fear has everything to do with going for what's familiar versus what you want. And what this looks like is it looks like a bus pulling up. And all these cute kids get off of the bus with their backpacks and their tennis shoes, and they all go home to very specific homes. You were one of these kids. You went home to a very specific home with a specific salary, with specific religious beliefs, beliefs about money, about health, about whatever it is, and we don't realize it, but from 0 to 18, we bathe in somebody else's belief systems. And what happens is that we go out at 18 and we're going to live our life just how we want. And then what happens? Your subconscious mind starts to move you back into what's familiar. Why does it do this? Because it wants to keep you safe. And what's familiar is what's safe. Even if your childhood was an unhappy childhood, the relationship between you and mom or you and dad or mom and dad wasn't happy, but you survived it. So your mind locks onto that and says, let's move you towards that because we survived that. And if we survive that, then we survive this. Again, to move you past that, we need that subconscious upgrade so that you no longer go for what's familiar because it's not what you want. It's tripping you up, but to give you that list of what you're looking for. As we move on to the last piece of that subconscious fear cocktail, and it is all about protection. And if there was one that really trips women up, it is protection. It is slowing you down. It's having you go for guys that you don't actually like because then we never have to give our heart out. It's keeping you from messaging guys online because we would never want to feel rejected. I see this in every single woman I have ever worked with. Your mind is so incredibly powerful. 95% of it wants to protect you. And so it's going to keep you playing small, safe, or moving you towards men that you actually don't want. Why? Again, to keep you safe, to keep you from ever getting hurt again. You see those negative past experiences. Your mind says, why are we feeling like this? This is painful. I don't want to feel like this ever again. We're going to make sure she never feels this way again. And so it creates this filing system on our subconscious mind where when a good guy shows up, we pull that file out and it's like, ooh, this is a good guy. We might actually get hurt because we actually like him. Let's sabotage this relationship. Oh, hey, look at that guy over there. He looks like something that we would actually never want, but we're bored, so let's date him for a while. While keeping us safe, because if we never give him our heart, we will never be rejected. Why does this not work? Because we can't both be safe and be happy. We have to put ourselves out there. We have to message guys online. We have to go for guys that make us uncomfortable because we don't feel worthy, because we don't feel like it's what's familiar to us. We have to go for it anyways. We have to step out of what our mind thinks is comfortable or what we feel on a subconscious level we're worthy of. What I do for women on a subconscious level is I help them understand where those limiting beliefs came from and why it actually has nothing to do with them. What the familiar is that they've been going for and why it's familiar. And lastly, what is that protection? And help their mind on a subconscious level understand that what they're actually protecting them from is from the loving, healthy relationship that they actually want. And how I do this is through a process called rapid transformational therapy, because it's not about understanding on that critical thinking of this is what I want and really trying to get into the tactical of how we're going to do it, how we're going to white knuckle through it. It's on that 95% that I'm talking about where we get our mind on board for what we actually want. And at the end of that session, I create a very personalized, tailored recording for your very personal, specific needs to help you rewire a new neurological network in your brain to create a new habit of thinking about what you really want, what you're really worth, the new familiar that you want, and the protection that you don't need and what you really want. And as you listen to this recording, every single day for 21 days, you start changing how you feel about yourself. You start attracting people that you didn't attract before and starting to have the healthy, loving relationships that you want automatically, effortlessly, easily, because now we're getting our mind on board, that subconscious 95%. If you're not getting your mind on board on a subconscious level, it can take years, even decades, to get that loving, healthy relationship that you deserve. So if you are somebody that really is still struggling with finding the love that you deserve, let me tell you, it's actually not your fault. It has all to do with negative past experiences that have created a subconscious belief about yourself, that have created subconscious fear, that your mind feels like it needs to move you towards what's familiar to protect you from what it thinks is going to harm you or make you feel feelings that it doesn't ever want you to feel again. The problem is that we can either have connection or we can have protection, but we don't get both. So if you are ready to have connection with your guy and start having the life and the love that you've always wanted, I highly recommend that you book a discovery call with me where together we can release your past on a subconscious level and rewire a new neurological network of thinking to get you in the habit of attracting the men that you actually want, easily, effortlessly, automatically. When Elise was really young, her dad left. And what that did for her was it subconsciously created a limiting belief that she wasn't worthy of sticking around for. So what did her mind do? It said, Elise, we're going to go for guys that are less than, that will never leave you. You will never be rejected, because we're going to go for guys that feel so lucky to be with you. They'll do whatever it takes to stay in the relationship. The problem is it's not even guys that she wanted to be dating or in a relationship with, but her mind kept moving her towards them. Her mind kept moving her towards what was familiar, and what was familiar was an unhealthy relationship. There wasn't compatibility there. There wasn't a deep connection there because her parents didn't have compatibility. They didn't have a deep connection. And so even though it wasn't what she wanted, there was something familiar about that for her. Lastly, her mind was trying to protect her from never feeling rejected by constantly getting her to do behaviors of working hard for the love, needing that reassurance. Do you love me? Is this a good relationship? Are you going to leave me? So if you're in a relationship where you're doing these behaviors of working hard for love or needing that reassurance that they're not going to leave, your mind is just trying to protect you like it was for Elise. So what we did for her is we did that rapid transformational therapy session where we went back and got that subconscious understanding for her of why she was doing these things, why that subconscious fear was tripping her up in her love life. Once she got that understanding, it was like this key that unlocked a door to the love life that she always wanted. She broke up with her boyfriend a week later, and she started dating a totally different caliber of men. So if you liked this video, in the comments below, let me know what men your subconscious mind has been moving you towards, what relationships your subconscious mind has kept you staying in, living in, marinating in, and why it no longer works for you. And remember, you were meant to love and be loved, and don't ever let anybody make you feel anything but lovable. Have a wonderful rest of your